the letters mean. TVA, UTK, ORAU, TCAT, KPD. Today, that's what this video is about. What are we talking about when we say things in letters in the East Tennessee area? AKA, what are Knox and East Tennessee area acronyms to know? This is an exhaustive list. I'm going to cut this down into sections and hopefully you learn something, even if you know what TVA means. Do you know how many people it serves? Or maybe you know what LCUB is. Do you know how it's related to... Anyways, okay, you know what I'm saying. Let's dive in and let's learn about East Tennessee and Knox area acronyms. So exciting. I love a good acronym. I was trying to think of like what's something that would apply here. Like, let's go, you know, but like, anyways, let's dive in. All right, we are starting with University of Tennessee related because that seems obvious. It seems the most fun. And this is the most unserious probably of all the categories. First of all, UT stands for University of Tennessee. If you hear University of Tennessee Knoxville, UTK, University of Tennessee Knoxville, that's talking specifically about the Knoxville campus. Also, sometimes when you Google UT, you have to add the K. So they know you're talking about University of Tennessee, not University of Texas. UT. I just had some friends in from Texas. They're A&M fans. They came to the A&M game with us. If you know what I'm talking about, go Vols. If you're watching this in 2025 and 2023, it was a checkered stadium and my A&M fans came in town. Anyways, they kept saying UT, and I was like, why aren't they talking about University of Tennessee? And I realized they're talking about University of Texas. But here in Tennessee, it obviously means University of Tennessee, which is our flagship university for the state, and Tennessee, like school, Board of Regents school system. So anyways, the University of Tennessee is a public land-grant research university in Knoxville, Tennessee. Founded in 1794, 2 years before Tennessee became the 16th state. How cool is that? It is the flagship campus for the University of Tennessee campus with 10 undergraduate colleges and 11 graduate colleges. So anyways, it's huge. It's huge. Okay, so things related to the University of Tennessee would be GBO. You might see a shirt that says I think I actually have a shirt that says GBO, which stands for Go Big Orange. Should I go grab it? It's probably not necessary. I should have worn it for this. Hold on. Okay, I found it. GBO, which this shirt is about 50 pounds ago, but I couldn't get rid of it because I loved it. But also, look, Tennessee. So, acronyms. This stands for Tennessee, like the state. You're welcome. Okay, anyways, no, seriously. GBO, Go Big Orange. G10, a little bit of an acronym, but more of an abbreviation. But I felt like since I was on the topic, G10 is like the premier parking place for University of Tennessee football games. VFL stands for Vol for Life. Vol as in volunteer, not the vols, volunteer. Vols, Vol for Life. Okay, so those are University of Tennessee related. Now let's talk about school otherwise, like high schools, local area districts, and then other colleges. So the first one is PSCC, Pellissippi State Community College. You might also see PSTCC, which is Pellissippi State Technical Community College. But either way, that's one of our local community colleges. And it is a public community college based in Knox and Blount counties. It is operated by the Tennessee Board of Regents. The college's main campus is located in West Knox County. There are 4 satellite campuses in the surrounding area. So that is Pellissippi State Community College. We're going to come back to that. Another similar yet different is a school called TCAT. So that's Tennessee College of Applied Technology. That's located in Knox, Blount, Anderson counties. And they offer primarily, their whole purpose is technical related certifications and associate's degrees. So they've got automotive tech, collision repair, computer info technology, HVAC systems, diesel power equipment technology, dental assisting, cosmetology, that kind of stuff, machine tool technology, surgical tech school, truck driving, nursing aid. So anyways, welding, they've got all kinds of technical degrees and certifications. It's an awesome place, super cool campus. And actually, in TCAT and Pellissippi, they have one of their campuses are like right next to each other, right off Sutherland, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, KCS, that stands for Knox County Schools, KCS. So website knoxschools.org. I know that, like, probably most people know KCS. I don't know. I used to work for KCS for a long time. So I know that school very well. That is the school system for all of Knox County. Back in the 80s, or up until the 80s, I should say, there was a Knoxville City school system and a, like, outer system. So, for example, Knox High is right downtown, is now a, like, luxury 55 and up community, like apartments, townhome type situation, but it used to be part of the Knoxville City school system. ORS is Oak Ridge Schools, and that is the school specific to Oak Ridge. TSD, Tennessee School for the Deaf. So this is located in South Knoxville. It is a state-operated residential and day school for deaf and hard of hearing students who reside in the state of Tennessee, ranging from pre-K to pre-K through grade 12, and also includes a post-secondary transition and occupational program. So other abbreviations you might hear are L&N STEM Academy. So L&N stands for Louisville and Nashville, and it was originally built, it's a train station built by Louisville and Nashville Railroad. It is now a high school with, oh my gosh, it is now, I used to work at L&N STEM Academy, by the way. It is now a magnet school in Knox County, a magnet high school. So that's 9 through 12, focused on STEM programming. So that's science, technology, engineering, and math. And so it's one of the premier high schools in the Knox County area. It's located downtown, and it is an old train station. It's on the, like, historical places in Knoxville. Super cool place to teach. I loved being there because obviously I love old buildings, but you've got like old glass. One of my classrooms, because we rotate, we didn't have our own classrooms, but one of the classrooms I used to teach in, it looked out over World's Fair, so you'd be looking at the Sun's Fair. Super cool place. And like old original woodwork, beautiful. Built in 1905. It is really cool. Anyways, and then another Knox County school that kind of does its own thing is CMA. So that's Career Magnet Academy, and that is actually connected to a Pellissippi College campus off of Strawberry Plains on the far east side of Knox County, and that is a high school where students can go and get their high school diploma and also an associate's degree or some sort of certification that Pellissippi State Community College offers, because the campuses are like right there together. So super cool program. Both L&N and CMA are magnet schools. So offer a great alternative to, say your kiddo is zoned for Farragut. Maybe you want them to move on with a associate's degree from Pellissippi State. Then you put their name in the lottery, and if it gets drawn, they can go there. So same, both of them are magnet schools where you get chosen based on lottery. So you essentially put your name in the hat within the deadline, and it gets drawn or not. Unless you have siblings there, then you are doctored in. Is it doctored in? You know what I'm saying. You get to go there too. Other things to think about in terms of Knox County schools or schools abbreviations in general. For example, BHS, FHS, Bearden High School, Farragut High School, West Valley Middle School, WVMS, BMS, Bearden Middle School. We don't really do like elementary school. I guess you could, Rocky Hill, like RHES. Like you probably do that more so in the community. And then HVA is a little bit different too, Hardin Valley Academy. That is the Hardin Valley High School. So they call themselves an academy versus Farragut High School is just the high school. Even though they have very similar programming, and they have the same graduation requirements. So anyways, Hardin Valley is just, you know, a little more, just sounds a little more fancy when you say Hardin Valley Academy. Okay, and then another school-related one is TSIN, T-S-I-N, which is Tennessee STEM Innovation Network, which actually has its own acronym within the acronym. Tennessee STEM. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, as we talked about. So TSIN was originally chartered by the Tennessee Department of Education, and their entire goal is to focus on STEM, the development of STEM education in K-12 programming across the state. They have STEM innovation hubs, and they also do curriculum writing. They've got STEM designations for schools, like to basically say this school is a STEM school. And they've got a whole program for that. I actually used to work as a part of TSIN for one of the local STEM hubs. So anyways, also know quite a bit about that. So those are school related outside of University of Tennessee. Now let's get into some history and service providers that are super well known in the area. First of all, we have TVA, which is the Tennessee Valley Authority. So the Tennessee Valley Authority, if you think nothing else, you think dams, you think water, you think power. So the Tennessee Valley Authority is a federally owned electric utility corporation in the U.S. TVA's services area covers all of Tennessee, portions of Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, and small areas of Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia. So as of right now, TVA has the following: 5 fossil plants, 3 nuclear plants, 29 hydro plants, 1 pump storage hydroelectric plant, 9 natural gas combustion turbine gas plants, 8 natural gas combined cycle gas plants, don't know what that means, 1 diesel generator site, and 14 solar energy sites. Also, TVA acquires power from a variety of power producers, generally through power purchasing agreements. So, for example, if we're out of power, we might get power from someone else. So basically, that's like, for example, if the power went out and we had nowhere to get power from, then we have power purchasing agreements where we might, we might purchase power from somebody outside of TVA in order to get electricity. Which is why, like, for example, University of Tennessee, a UTK, they have a huge, like, they're wanting all the power to be on one power grid. Which I don't know if that would take away power purchasing agreements. I don't know how that works, but that's just a side note. This is not what this video is about. I need to hurry it because they told me I'm making videos that are way too long. Okay, so TVA, since 1933, the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority Act, created a public corporation to improve the navigability and to provide for flood control of the Tennessee River. So if you go to actually TVA's website, they make it sound like it was rough out here and that the whole entire valley, when I say valley, where we are in East Tennessee, we are in the valley of the mountains, right? So essentially, it's that the TVA, first of all, was to take control of the Tennessee River, put in a dam system, and as a result of that, created a power system. Now, as with any government project, there is a lot of history about people that were relocated, like all kinds of crazy stuff in the building of this dam system. So I just want to acknowledge that that does exist. There is a history there where people were displaced. I don't know why I feel like that's important to say, but I do feel like it's important to say. That being said, at the time, East Tennessee, if you go to the TVA website, I wasn't around in the 30s, okay, but it's as if the valley was super poor, no power, flooded, like it was a hard life. So I think that's something interesting to consider. So anyways, check out the map where you can see local dams. So for example, Cherokee Dam, Tellico Dam, Norris, like all of those, Douglas Dam, all of those are part of the TVA system. And then also notice that where do you go to get a dock permit? You've got to get your dock permit from TVA. So anyways, TVA, power, water, dam system. KUB stands for Knoxville Utilities Board, and they provide fiber internet, which is newer, but previous to that, not previous, but in addition, fiber is just like their new thing, right? Electrical power, natural gas, water, wastewater are their areas, what they do. So they do everything. Wastewater, everything besides power. No, they do have power. Electric, wastewater, water. So like sewer. That's what's confusing me. Okay, wastewater and water, they're different. Sewer, and then also gas. Knoxville Utilities Board was created by an amendment to the Knoxville City Charter in 1939. As an independent agency of the City of Knoxville, KUB provides electric, fiber, natural gas, water, and wastewater services to more than 478,000 customers in Knoxville and parts of 7 surrounding counties. KUB believes utility service should be so reliable that customers can take it for granted, and we work hard to maintain such reliability, which that's kind of a cool, interesting mission statement. Like it happens. Like you take it for granted that it does exist. And actually last week we had a dump truck basically hit into our power pole, and KUB was like on the spot within 30 minutes. Insanity. And they had our power back up that night, which was a huge feat because we're just one house, right? Whereas like the entire of Chapman Highway, the lights, the literal traffic lights were on Chapman Highway. It was bad. Anyways, that's KUB. You got to know it. Go to KUB service areas map and you can see like where is electric, where is natural gas. The other thing to note is some houses you'll see may have electric stove, but they have a gas water heater, which means you could switch your stove. You already have service for gas, right? So you could, you already essentially are plumbed in for gas. So the transition to add a gas for your stove is not as major as if you don't have gas at all. The other thing is when it comes to fiber, KUV eventually will have fiber available to any area in which you have service from KUB. So anyways, and like we have KUB, I'm in Blount County. Now I'm just across the Knox County line, but we do have KUB for our electric service. Okay, LCUB is Lenoir City Utility Board. And today that's approximately, they serve 65,430 electric customers in 4 counties, plus 9,005 water customers, 6,277 natural gas customers, and 5,300 wastewater customers, making LCUB the 8th largest utility among 154 TVA distributors. So think about that. TVA with all of our power production. Then you've got places like KUB and LCUB that they are getting their power, as an example, from the TVA. Super cool. So Lenoir City actually has now broadband internet, or has had. I'm not sure how long they've had that. I didn't realize they had internet. But for example, my mom lives in West Knox, and she has LCUB for one of her, I think her electric, I believe. You don't even know where she lives anyways, but I'm just saying she's got KUB for one thing, she's got LCUB for another, and then she's got West Knox Utility for something else. So just know that is a thing. All right, next up, getting into a little bit of East Tennessee history, is the ORNL, Oak Ridge National Lab. I was about to say the ORNL Federal Credit Union. No, that is my bank. Those two are different, although ORNL Federal Credit Union is related to ORNL. Not the point. ORNL, Oak Ridge National Lab. Now we also, I don't know if you know this, we have a huge history with the Manhattan Project and nuclear energy, etc. So Oak Ridge National Lab is like the hallmark place where research happens. So when I think of Oak Ridge National Lab, I also think of Y12 CNS. Both of these historically had to do with nuclear, like building an atomic bomb, right? Back in the day. And now they're kind of separated in the sense that Y12 is still associated with nuclear, etc. But ORNL is now not just focused on how do you build an atomic bomb, right? Now it's more the research arm. So ORNL, both of them house amazing minds and do amazing things, but think of ORNL as like, this is the research place, and I think of Y12 as like, I think of it as like, we don't want somebody to bomb that, okay? Now, there is research going on there. There are researchers going on there, but let's make a distinction. So ORNL, Oak Ridge National Lab, originally called X10, is the world's premier research institution empowering leaders and teams to pursue breakthroughs in environment. Okay, so they have 3 main pieces, and this goes deep. If you go to the website, you're gonna be like, oh wow. Scientific discovery, clean energy, and national security. So that national security piece, look at Tennessee. Okay, that's the power T, yeah. That national security piece is where the nuclear atomic bomb kind of comes in from back in the day. But essentially they conduct all kinds of research among all kinds of things. When I was working as the district STEM leader or whatever, coordinator, I met with so many different kinds of scientists, like fire scientists, people that track what happens with fire, GIS, like totally people that are all about maps and geography and, you know, information technology systems related to geographical information systems. I mean, all kind, like what's happening with batteries, supercomputers. I mean, just all kinds of science that you can imagine. Weather. I mean, everything. So that's ORNL. And essentially, basically, when it comes to security, you've got cybersecurity, nuclear security, and human security. Energy is about making it clean, efficient, all that stuff. So ORNL is a huge presence in, definitely like the history of the area, but also in research in general. It is a huge part of the DOD, Department of Defense, DOE, Department of Energy, and everything that's going on. So, and to me, it's like sisters to Y12, which we'll get to in a second. So Y12, which is, think about that. ORNL was originally X10, and now we call it Oak Ridge National Lab. Y12, that's its original name. Never changed into anything else. You may hear Y12 National Security Complex, but typically we just call it Y12. I do have a client that calls it Y2K, which is not the same. But it's Y12. And then now you might hear CNS. So CNS stands for Consolidated Nuclear Security. CNS is who manages the Y12 complex. The Y12 National Security Complex has 3 primary national security missions that protect our country and our allies around the world. Maintaining the U.S. nuclear stockpile, number 1, reducing global threats, and fueling the U.S. nuclear navy are their 3 primary things. So, essentially, Y12 was constructed as a part of the World War II Manhattan Project. Y12 provided the enriched uranium for Little Boy, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Japan, to help the United States and its allies end a war that had taken more than 63 million lives worldwide. Afterward, Y12 provided lithium separation and key components for the thermonuclear weapons that helped to end the Cold War. Y12's expertise in machining, handling, and protecting radiological materials has made the Oak Ridge site central to the nation's national security. So this is U.S. nuclear stockpile. This is like hardcore, heavy. When you go there, it's intense. It has a different vibe than the Oak Ridge National Lab. Although one time, whenever I was visiting ORNL, okay, so both of them you have to go through security when you like drive up. Although if you go to the Y12 Visitor Center, I think you still have to go through security. But anyways, I pulled up to ORNL, and the way, in my mind, the way they had it blocked off was weird. Okay, so I pull up, and I pulled into the wrong freaking lane. Okay, and the security guard is like, "Oh, ma'am, you think you're funny?" And I was like, "No, sir." I was like, it says this lane. He's like, "Do you think it looks like the right lane?" And I was like, oh God. So I like reverse skirt, and he's just like in his like little security bunker or whatever it is. And I back up. Oh my God. I back up and I pull into the other lane. And I was like, "Hi, I'm supposed to be here at noon meeting so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. I'm with Knox County Schools, whatever." Anyways, Make sure you have your ID too. If you are going on a tour, you have to have your ID, because when you go on a tour at Y12, as an example, they check your ID. So I guess you do security within the visitor center, and then you can go out into, or if you're on a certain tour, then you're going to go out into the different parts. Now, they're not going to take you to where the nuclear stuff is, but you're going to see, like, it's super cool. You should do it. You're going to see, like, the bomb casing. I mean, you're going to see, it's just cool. Anyways, okay. ORAU. Can you understand do you know what OR means at this point? Yes. Oak Ridge Associated Universities. They do everything. An example of what they do is partner with colleges, universities all across the world and bring in like postdoc students, maybe that do research as with ORNL, or maybe ORAU has certain educational programs going on that those researchers can be a part of, but it's kind of like the education arm, collaboration arm, partnering arm. So maybe there's a scientist at ORNL that needs some sort of postdoc student from a university in India. Then ORAU is going to kind of be that partner matcher, but then they do so much more. So ORAU is a nonprofit organization that has been working with government agencies, universities, and corporate entities since 1946. We provide innovative scientific and technological solutions to advance national priorities in science, education, security, and health. So that science and security piece, where we see both ORNL and Y12 focused on, ORAU shares that mission. ORAU works with federal, state, local, and commercial customers. This doesn't say anything about international, but basically it says it's a specialized team of through specialized teams of experts and access to a consortium of more than 150 major colleges and universities. It works with everyone to make all kinds of stuff happen. So you can check out the graph of all the things they do. You see STEM education, which is K-12 initiative. You see research partners. You see radiation, safety, and health physics training, epidemiology, and exposure science. I mean, they do everything. Internships and fellowships, all kinds of stuff. So that is ORAU. Alcoa, I'm putting it in this category because it's similar to this idea about power. Alcoa is power or kind of industry, kind of historical East Tennessee. Alcoa stands for Aluminum Company of America. We have a town called Alcoa, which used to be referred to as North Maryville, but was then named after the aluminum plant, which actually is now archonic. Alcoa doesn't even operate in Alcoa anymore, but ALCOA is an abbreviation. So it is an acronym for Aluminum Company of America. Okay, let's talk about real quickly WBIR, WATE. This is a little quick break here, and these are some of our news channels. So channel 10, WBIR, and WATE is channel 6. Okay, Knox specific, which I guess those are Knox specific, but really things that start with a K. CAT, Knox Area Transit. This is the CAT bus system that services Knoxville. There's 25 routes currently operating. KPD stands for the Knoxville Police Department. KEC is the Knoxville is the Knoxville Entrepreneur Center. It's not as popular as KPD, but for small businesses here, KEC provides a ton of support for entrepreneurs. It's been in the area since 2013 and serves as a bridge for entrepreneurs in East Tennessee. So it's a super cool place. They've got really great programming for entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, small businesses, etc. Tons of networking. CARM. And they also are super close with the Knox Chamber, as the KEC office is directly under the Knox Chamber office on Market Square. So they are super closely related. Knox Area Rescue Ministries. We have CARM stores. So this is something like Goodwill where you can donate stuff, but also CARM has a huge presence in all kinds of charity type of work. They are probably our biggest provider of support for homeless population. So that is CARM. Tennessee acronyms that apply to East Tennessee, TWRA. If you are out on the lake and you see a boat with a siren, that is part of the TWRA, and you better pull over. But they don't just, they're not just the boat police, but that is the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. So they do everything from like fishing licenses, hunting licenses, everything outdoors is what they are related to. The TWRA is an independent state agency of Tennessee with the mission of managing the state's fish and wildlife and their habitats, as well as responsible for all wildlife-related law enforcement activities. TBI is about law enforcement for people that are breaking the law. People, not animals. TBI, think FBI instead of federal. T is Tennessee. So Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. I think it dates back to the 40s and 50s. It continues to meet the demands of providing up-to-date investigative forensic science and support to Tennessee's entire criminal justice system. TYS, that is the short call letters, or are the short call letters for McGee-Tyson Airport, which is located just outside of Knoxville in Alcoa. So it is named for the United States Navy pilot Charles McGee-Tyson, who was killed in World War I, and is owned by the Metropolitan Knoxville Airport Authority. It serves several major airlines and employs 2,700 people. Okay, quick note on places. K-Town, obviously, some people you might hear K-Town, like there's a place called K-Town Tavern. Obviously, K-Town means Knoxville. G-Burg. I hear it like my mom says this, okay? That stands for Gatlinburg. And then GSMNP, Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is our hallmark destination. What makes us a tourist destination is the fact that we are just outside the Great Smoky Mountains. So when you see Great Smoky Mountains National Park, that GSM, it's talking about Great Smoky Mountains and then NP National Park. So I hope this has been helpful. GBO. I'm hoping I didn't leave anything major off. I've been working on content for this for months now. And listen, I'm sure I probably missed something. But I try my very hardest for you. And I hope this was helpful, more so than anything. If you want more content about the Knoxville and East Tennessee area, as always, please click subscribe, because I always want to tell you so much more. It's the teacher in me, okay? That being said, I'll see you on the next video.